Hello, my name is Rachel Nath, and I will be presenting you my 3-minute research presentation. Without further ado, I'll move myself over here. I think there was a lot of interesting topics that we could choose from, and I found one that was very dear to my heart, which was mental health. And not just mental health in general, but mental health and the effects it has on children and their development. And becoming a future teacher someday, I think the important thing to know is that mental health is something that should not be taken lightly and that everyone struggles with it differently. And my topic, as you already know, is mental health and the effects it has on children's development and how this relates to social justice. Finding research for this topic was a very grueling process, but I'm grateful to say that I had a lot of great sources and information that gave me a lot of good insight. So let's go through it. Thesis. Typically, when a child contracts some form of mental disorder or disease, the first thing people try to do is fix them, not love and embrace them, the child for who they are. That is true in many instances. In my research, I found that teachers tend to become more emotionally attached to the ones that seem normal than the ones that are actually having struggles and issues. And that is a systemic thing that should be changed, and all children should be treated equally because no one should be left behind. For my summary, I potentially wrote that through my research I learned about how mental illnesses have been affecting children and how children are being treated differently because of it, like what I said before. From the research, I learned 3 things. Number 1, children with mental health issues are constantly being rejected by teachers and by society. Number 2, children are constantly influenced by their environment and the world around them. That goes to show that the things they watch and the things they hear and the things they see are very much impactful to them. So with children, we got to be very careful with what we expose them to because they have feelings too. Finally, for my 3rd point, mental health should be promoted more throughout schools. I'm not talking about a class or maybe a class that's providing awareness for this systemic disease that is going around that cannot be fixed. It can't be cured either, but it can be treated with the proper tools. And one of those tools might be awareness because a lot of children nowadays are more and more mentally ill than physically ill. And I used to think before this project that adults were the only ones that had mental illnesses, but I was very wrong. In conclusion, after all the research that I have conducted from this project, I have learned about how mental illness is something to never joke about, and that children, despite whether or not having mental illness, deserve to all be treated equally and respectfully. In order for children to want to communicate and address their issues, teachers need to make the classroom a safe space for them, not neglect or look down upon them. So my personal opinions on this is that I agree 100% that mental health should not be taken lightly, and it comes in many different forms. It's not just disabilities or ADHD or ADD. There's many different forms and facets that need to be taken into consideration. And every children deserves to be understood and respected. And as a future teacher someday, I hope that I can take that knowledge and make sure that every child feels well loved. Thank you for watching my 3-minute presentation. All right. Stop. Is it going to stop now? The scary thing is we don't know what's going to stop.